Hi everybody, this video is going to be all about black African wood and amazing colored resin. Stick around, let's have some fun. Look at what I'm doing. I think you will like it. It came out amazing. And how do I start? I start with creating a container for the resin. You can see here on the left side, you can see the two pieces of African black African wood, and the container will I'm trying to save as much as possible on resin. So what I'm going to do also, you will see on the side, I've got small pieces of leftovers from previous project of African black wood, and I folded up all the gaps over there. Big mistake. You will see during this project how many times I had problems with this thing. The only reason why I put it inside is to save on resin, so I don't have to use so much resin, and the cavity will be filled up in the middle. It's something that I'm going to scoop out, I'm going to machine out. So I thought that why not to put a little bit of few pieces inside there, and in the long run I think it was a big mistake. That was the color I played with, gold and red. The red has a little bit of pearl inside, mica inside, and I think a little bit sank inside because of those small pieces. And I made a recess. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to make another recess on the other side, but this time on this recess I'm going to make a tenon, and that's the tenon I'm going to do. And you will see a little bit later what's the idea behind it. You'll have to stick around and see why did I made it this way. If you see when I put it inside just now, you will see that the end of the area where the resin sunk inside, there's some opening. And I thought to myself, actually my wife asked me what will happen if we will leave it and we'll make the vase and this one will stay as it is. So I said, let's try it, and that's why I made the tenon. Super glue, put it in, left it overnight. This chuck just centralized it, so I know it's a center, and I will start working with that just now. I cut the corners off. You will see probably those corners, you will see a little bit later in a different project. I don't throw them away. The color is too nice, and the only reason I cut those corners so it will be easier to machine it down. You will see here that I am doing something I never done before, and I'm using a glove. And the reason for it is because it's not completely round, so small pieces are breaking off, and African black wood is hard and the resin is hard, and it really hurt my hand, so I put a glove just to be on the safe side. And here what I'm doing two things. The reason why I'm doing it this way is, first of all, I'm planning in my head already the way that the vase is going to look like. And here I'm going deep inside just to see where is the place where it became a cylinder. And I don't have straight lines. So I don't have to lose too much wood, and I don't have to lose resin. So I'm going to use as much as possible from the cylinder. So that's why I'm going to one place that I know that it's already round and there is no flat lines over there. You see, still is a little bit of flat line, and I'll take it out a little bit later. Now, when I'm getting the full picture of the cylinder, I'm deciding I'm going to change a little bit my design. I'm going to move to a different design. And I'm going to use this way. I'm going to have the maximum of this beautiful color coming out that will look like orange and red, like blood runs into the veins. And turn it around, and now I'm going to create the base of the vase. I'm going to leave a very narrow and shallow recess. I don't want to be deep. One mark, and then I'm going to drill the place for my logo. Very important on those types of projects is that you have to think in advance. What will be your next step, or 2 or 3 steps ahead? So you're not going to find yourself suddenly with a vase that you can't hold, and now you have to make a plan how you're going to hold it. So one of the, if there is a tip that I can give somebody that is a beginner, is think all the time ahead, few steps, how you're going to hold your project. And if you can find it, it's excellent. Cleaning up a little bit with alcohol and continue all the way to 600, and then I'm going to use triple E, and then I'm going to do OB changes. Some of you on the remarks told me that after I'm using the triple E Ultra Shine, I should actually clean it off. Even that I burn it in, I must clean it off with alcohol a little bit. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. So that will show you that I'm reading exactly what you're saying, and some ideas I'm taking, and some ideas I'm trying. And look at that. Did you see that? It looks like blood running into this black African wood. I turned it around and I decided I'm not going to do what my wife asked me to do. And the reason for it is, and I'll tell you the reason for it just now. However, saying, you remember I told you that I'm sorry that I put those pieces, and here is my biggest problem. Every time you drill in and it hit one that it's in grain or out grain, and it stucks and it locks my drill. So that's why I'm sorry I done it. But otherwise, it gave me a little bit of better usage of the resin. The reason why I decided not to do it, in some areas, the pieces that were missing were very sharp, and I was worried that I will catch, or I'll have a catch and I'll break the vase, or I'll have a finger catch and I'll break my finger. So in both situations, I'll break something. So I decided, let me remove it, and you saw how I removed it, and I made it, and I made it straight. So designally way, it was very nice if I left it those like mountains, but it was dangerous, and I don't like so much dangerous. Checking all the time that there is no ridges over there. And here I've got very short fingers. So I didn't really manage to get to the bottom and I didn't want to push my hand too deep inside. I was worried that I'll have a catch and I'll twist my hand or twist my fingers. And here the same thing. I'm going all the way to 600, and then I'm going to go with triple E ultra shine, and you can see already how it looks like. It looks beautiful inside and outside, and I like it very much. I use one of my polishing pads as a support, so it's not going to fly away from the shallow recess that I've got over there. And look at those colors. My logo, as usual, because I planned it in advance to have a place for it. And a photo in the dark and some other photos in the workshop. Then it's a short video of it revolving, so you can see it from all the directions, and a bad, a good, and ugly. It's my explanation behind this project. So you can stick around. I'll explain everything, and we'll see you there. Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you very much for sticking all the way to the end. What a beauty. Again, I used African black wood, black African wood. 2 pieces, you saw it, that were left over that I had to cut off, and I used resin. I used some small pieces that are left. The pieces that you saw me putting over there was especially not to use so much resin, that's all. What do you think? Put in a comment below. What do you think? How do you like the colors? It came out nice. Nothing to do, I love it. I'll keep it. And if you like that, don't forget to, if you're new here, to subscribe. If you're a supporter of mine, share it with your friends and social media. Don't forget to put some remarks at the bottom. Have a magical day, and I'll see you on my next video. Boom.